we are here in the Bahamas.
We are going to make it right.
If you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know?
The commander is here.
What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out.
Don't eat.
Something got pop your butt.
Yeah. Oh, I can.
Hola! It's Big Rob with Sin City Crypto, day 4 of the Sin City Crypto Takeover. My boy David over here, my co-host, joining us today as well.
Hello, everyone. I am, I've always wondered whether you can count to 4 or not. Now, over the last 4 days, I know you can. So, congratulations.
That's right.
How you guys doing? We are excited to be here for day 4. And for those of you that are not happy that we're here, don't worry. This is our second and last day. But we're going to make today an exciting show. We have a very special guest. Wendy O will be joining us in about 30 minutes, talk about some charts, talk about Coinbase. We also have news if you're a Voyager creditor. I think, unless we get rug pulled again, we got some good news for you guys, so stay tuned for that. Also, we're going to go over Crypto Twitter Minute. We're going to check in with Ben and see what he's up to. Will he patch in live? Who knows? But we've been tracking him, so we know what he's up to. We're going to share that with you. Also, we have our tech sector niche. We're going to talk about meme coins. And finally, we're going to share some tools with you guys that you can use to make better investment decisions. And finally, of course, some XRP news. So without further ado, take it away.
All right, so let's go through our typical rundown. Pulling up the YouTube channel here on BitBoy Crypto. 1.45 million subscribers. And at a close second, we got Sin City Crypto at 8,000.
Wow.
110 subscribers. If you want to help us out, we'll tell you a little bit more about contests we're running here in a moment. But before we get there, we have the Catching Up to Crypto book. And once again, we had been in Las Vegas.
You're going to mention that every day now?
It was
he was in other cities too, right?
He did have his book.
He was in Chicago. He was in
well, if you guys haven't picked up this copy, go pick that up. Support Ben, Al. Getting into the markets. You want to get into the markets?
Let's get into the markets.
All right.
So, looking at coin market cap on my laptop, on my computer here, we have $1.21 trillion in total market cap. Volume has ticked up to a little over $50 billion. Bitcoin dominance has dropped to 45.8%. ETH dominance has actually gone up to 19.5%. Now, before I get into any prices, there's this conversation, and there's been this conversation. We've had it. A lot of people on Twitter have had it. Will Bitcoin ever get to 50% dominance ever again? Ever.
It's ticking up there. It's pretty close.
Would it take another bank failing for Bitcoin to get to 50% dominance?
If there is a major U.S. bank failure, I would say yes.
Okay.
We saw that was the safe haven for a lot of, I don't know, traditional money. You know, where else are you going to put your cash, right? If the banks are failing, you don't trust the banks. What other options do you have? I mean, you can either dig a trench in your backyard, or you can put it in Bitcoin, right? Or you can buy commodities like gold. But
what if you dig the trench and put your Bitcoin in the trench?
Well, here's the thing. At smaller volume levels, commodities like gold make sense, right?
Right.
But if institutions are failing, I mean, if you were tasked with buying, say, $100,000 worth of gold, like, where do you start?
Well, here's my issue.
You can get the digital version, but I mean,
here's my issue, right? I have no issue with holding gold. I think you should hold gold. You should hold Bitcoin as a hedge against government policies and currency debasement. But after I saw that one article, the guy was coming over with 77 pounds of gold, okay? He was coming back to New York, the resident of the U.S., less than $2 million worth of gold, and he was arrested. Yeah. So if you got a fat bag of money and you need to pick up and go somewhere, were you going to lug 700 pounds of gold around?
Yeah, if you have a backpack full of gold, I feel like people are going to question that more than a ledger wallet with the same equivalent in your back pocket, right? Or on a necklace.
You took the words out of my mouth. Now, as far as Bitcoin, we have seen, so Bitcoin was trading above 30K for a few days. We are now bleeding downwards, $28,625, down 6% over the last week, 2.2% just over the last 24 hours. Now, before I move forward, today is 420. I want to wish everyone a happy 420 day. And on this
Is
day,
that why you look so tired?
and on this day, 1 year ago, Bitcoin's price hit 420.69
Well,
on 420
well.
last year in 2022. So $42,600. I thought that was pretty fun. And then we have Ethereum coming in at $1,957. I want to go to the crypto bubbles. Take a look. We're going to take a look at the daily. Let's see what's in the green. We have BitTorrent in the green, Render, OKB, and Caspa. So Caspa is, I believe it's a layer 1 proof of work, supposed to be like Bitcoin, but way more energy efficient. Haven't done too much dive into it. If we move over to the weekly, what I do want to talk a little bit about is XRD. Radix, which is a layer 1 DeFi protocol, not a layer 2, but a layer 1. And what is it? Why do I say that's so important? Because what's the biggest problem we have with layer 2s and bridges is hacks, right? Hacks, inefficiencies, more points of failure. Well, with Radix, and just for transparency, I don't hold any. We don't get paid by Radix. It's just a cool project I was looking at. And I always like to look at a few things right off the bat. First thing I look at is CERC supply to total supply ratio.
What is this website?
This is cryptorank.io.
Okay.
CERC to total supply ratio is 80%, which is pretty good. 12.5 billion token total supply, max is 24 billion. So not a lot of tokens that are going to be floating out there. Also, we take a look at their fundraising. They did just raise $10 million. They raised this about a month ago. They raised 4.1 million back in 2020. And the cool thing with this one is this is on their website, radixdlt.com. And so these are some of their use cases. So stablecoin, DEXs, yield farming, gaming, collateralized lending, options and derivatives, DeFi insurance, which I think is going to be a pretty big sticking point for anyone using DeFi in the next bull market. We saw what happened the last bull market. A lot of people lost a lot of money, money markets, NFTs. So Radix
is still speculative. I would be easy, but just as us just kind of
Radix
covering.
is something I am personally looking to add into my portfolio. I do need to do a little bit more research, but something I figured, we'd share with you guys.
A lot of movement as of lately.
Yeah.
So
with that being said, let's move into doing things a little different today. We're going to move into our headlines. Now, I did mention if you're a Voyager creditor, if you lost money on Voyager, we have some good news. But like I said, unless we get rug pulled again, but I don't think so. I think the government got what they wanted, which hurts me to say, but at least if you're a creditor, you're going to get some of your money back. So Voyager strikes deal with U.S. government to proceed with the Binance acquisition plan. Now, before I read the content of this article, I want you guys to remember one thing. I want you to remember why they stopped it the first time, right? One of the reasons Gary Gensler and the Department of Justice said, we don't think Binance can afford it. We can't look at their financials. We think they're going to use customer funds, whatever the case may be. Well, come to find out, that was not the reason that they stopped the transaction. The real reason was this thing called an exculpation provision. The government had objected to the acquisition earlier due to this provision, which this provision immunized Voyager from past and future civil or criminal liabilities to the government. Okay? So this provision was in there, and government said, nope, hold up, wait a minute. They took it out. They said, okay, fine, now you can. So all of a sudden now, they're not worried if Binance has the money or where the money's coming from. A Twitter user writes, quote, all these pointless delays just to try and desperately hold on to the protections, which are now finally separated from the deal they never belonged in to begin with. People would have had their money over a month ago if not for the slimeball move of throwing those in last minute. Let me ask you a question. Are you putting more blame on Voyager and or Binance for adding this provision in? Are you putting more blame on the Department of Justice or the SEC, the U.S. government, for making this to hold up, for not letting this go through and people to start getting?
So they removed they removed the provision that protects Voyager from future lawsuit, right?
Correct.
And then they
from the
added-
government.
From the government. Okay, so for retail, it's you don't know.
What do you mean?
For retail, can retail consumers sue Voyager in the future?
I think
You
this is, it says from to the government.
Okay.
So the government.
And then what was the provision they put in?
No provision. They took that out.
Okay, that was it.
Correct.
Okay. It's just fine. It's about time. Just simple as that. I feel like we're dragging this through. I would caution people that are in anticipation for the funds to be returned. That is probably still going to take a while. Don't need to look any further than the Mt. Gox, the Bitfinex hack. These have taken years upon years to get any kind of money back, and we're still waiting. So I would expect, hey, what do you think? A couple years still?
I don't know.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
You think it'd be less than 1 year?
Yeah, the acquisition's like, it's good.
I don't know, man.
We're good.
I just don't believe it. I don't believe it.
But I'd like you to answer.
I believe it when I see it.
I'd like you to answer my question though.
Okay, what's that?
Are you putting more blame on Voyager or Binance for adding that provision in, or are you adding more blame to the DOJ and the SEC for halting this transaction or this buyout for this provision? Whose fault is it more? Should it have even been put in there, or was the DOJ
I don't even know why it's a big talking point. I feel like it's just small little legal jargon.
I mean, it's held up people's money for quite a long time.
Yeah, it's done now, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. What do you guys think? Are you more upset with Voyager, or are you more upset with the DOJ for holding this up? Let us know what you think. All right. Next piece of news. Tornado Cash developer Pertsev can be freed pending trial, a Dutch court rules. And so this article, if you guys aren't familiar with what happened, we're actually going to swap over to my laptop, Drew. Alexei Pertsev. So if you're not familiar with what happened, Tornado Cash developer, OFAC put Tornado Cash on the sanctioned list. So essentially, Tornado Cash was banned. Any wallet using Tornado Cash was also banned, and the website was taken down. And so the developer of Tornado Cash was then put in jail. This is a big talking point. Well, now it's like we have some good news. The developer who worked on the code for Tornado Cash can await trial from home. A court in the Netherlands has ruled. He will be released next Wednesday, and his lawyers have said this gives him ample time and resources to be able to strengthen his case against who is suing him. Now, we all know he shouldn't have been in jail in the first place. What are your thoughts on him being freed?
Insane. Like, well, I'm glad he's freed, but it's insane on the reason he even got put in there.
Yeah.
The dude literally just made a computer program
and what people decided to do with
it to the internet. It'd be no different than someone creating a computer, right? Like, hey, I built a computer, and then somebody goes and hacks a mainframe with that computer, and then they lock me up for it. Like, wait, you built a tool. Like, that's crazy, right? Like that thought process is insane. He built a piece of software that other people did malicious activities with. And so if I were to build a computer and then you went and hacked somebody with it, is that any different?
No.
It's not. And how is this man liable for the criminal actions that were used on a program that he created that was not the intention of laundering money? It was just the intention of creating anonymity. And we saw that there are genuine use cases for Tornado Cash. Vitalik Buterin, he didn't want his personal wallet address to be out there, and he wanted to donate to Ukraine.
Yeah. But he didn't want people to know how much he donated to Ukraine.
And privacy is something that we're going to need in our space. Whether you want it or not, there are certain instances where you want privacy. If you run a business and you're issuing paychecks to 100 employees, you don't want all of that to be public information. You don't want the new guy that's getting paid more than the guy that's been there for 6 months to find out each other's salary. Or the new guys, or the guy that's been there for years is going to be pissed off. You can't, if we're going to move forward in our space, there are certain aspects that don't need to be 100% transparent. And there's going to be upgrades that we have.
Try telling that to the government.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Now, here's the thing. There are certain, and I know Cardano's done it, a couple of the smart chains have done it, where you have exclusions, right? Where you can verify, you can have KYC without publicly divulging it. So you can have like, hey, on this transaction, we're going to have this amount set aside. It's not public data, but if, say, the government wanted to access it for tax purposes with permission, you can do that. And that's the direction we're going to go. We can't just say, hey, we're going to lock you up because you wrote a program and somebody stole money with it. It's insane to me, man.
Yeah. It's like saying, hey, you created something on the app store that scam people, and so we're gonna sue Apple. That's not how it works. But that's my thing is the reason the government and politicians feel so threatened is because they cannot control or take a look at or see every single thing happening in the crypto space. And part of it is fear. Part of it is they're upset they don't have control.
They've also had control throughout the history of the country's existence, and they've gotten nothing but more control, especially on a global level. And they always say this KYC, money laundering, and it's always the same premise. We want to know where every transaction is going, who's sending money who, so that way, if we think something's nefarious, we can block it. And we're moving away from those times. It's not gonna, U.S. doesn't have to have control over every single transaction globally. It's not gonna work that way, right? Am I like a dreamland?
I'm laughing because I'm like, try explaining that to them. Like they don't want to hear it,
right?
And once you give that kind of control over to the government, good luck trying to take it back. Yeah. And that is why, even when some people say, well, that's kind of small, well, we'll give that up for them to approve. No, we shouldn't. Because once you give a little, they take a lot. And it just keeps going and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Next thing you know, like, oh, crap, what's crypto anymore? It's not even gonna look the same.
Your CBDC and driver's license are tied together.
Yeah. Robin, I don't wear necklaces. You wear necklaces.
That's right.
You have a ledger, correct?
I do, yeah.
Would you ever wear your ledger as a necklace?
No.
And just why? Why wouldn't you do that? Humor me.
It just looks really douchey, bro.
Really douchey. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything to do with security at all?
That's part of it as well. Yeah.
Well, apparently,
I feel like it's like wearing, if you had like a briefcase or making a necklace and just having a check with like $1 million written on there.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing
Absolutely.
at all. Unless it's fake money.
Wear it in San Francisco.
No, we don't want to go there. Literally and figuratively speaking.
Yeah.
Now, this article from Be in Crypto. Crypto community roasts Ledger for, quote, stylish. Why do they have to throw that word in there? It's not even stylish. Cold wallet necklace combo. Ledger, a company known for security, introduced the chain which enables users to take crypto wallets offline by wrapping them around their necks. This is part of their launch. Ledger said, quote, security is a flex. So secure your assets and wear them in style with our new bundle, an industry-leading Ledger Nano X.
This is their quote?
This is their quote. And it's exclusive chain to keep your keys close wherever you go. Now, one user called it a fashionable mug me look, and another confused it for an April Fool's prank, even though we're deep into April and not on April 1st. Ryan Wyatt, which is the president of Polygon Labs, said, quote, this is taking snatched his chain to a whole different level with this one. Also,
hold on. Scott, let me see this chain. All they did was take the dog tag chain, and just put it on the Ledger.
Yeah,
they didn't modify it at all.
I know.
I thought it was like a special clasp that they put on this thing.
No. The regular Ledger. Now, here's something funny. John Radoff, CEO of gaming platform Beamable, said, quote, marketing person obviously has never owned a single coin. All jokes aside, like, does this put in a question for you whether you trust Ledger or not? Does this take away from
they got somebody in the marketing department that is disconnected from reality?
Yeah.
That's all it is. You see it all the time. Look no further than your favorite beer commercial. And you can
oh God.
I'm just saying that marketing department sometimes misses the mark. And obviously this one
sometimes
they overshot that.
Okay, so we're gonna take a poll here. Robin, would you wear the chain? No.
No
David, no. Drew, would you wear the chain?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna proxy every single person in this BitBoy studio. They all said no. And we're gonna put up a poll. We want to know what the chat thinks. Is this fashionable? Is this stylish? Would you wear your Ledger around your neck? We're gonna put up a poll. Make sure to vote yes or no. While our friend Drew is putting that up there, we're going to move on. This was a very interesting article, and I'm curious to get the conversation on this one. This is from CoinDesk. Credit agency giant TransUnion starts delivering credit scores for crypto lending. TransUnion will deliver credit scores for DeFi lenders. They will provide traditional off-chain credit scores for individuals when they apply for loans and blockchain-based protocols without compromising the applicant's privacy. Walter Tang, which is the VP for research firm Fundstrat, said that credit scores for crypto borrowers could have mitigated a lot of the risks on unsecured loans that happened in the last market cycle. TransUnion credit scoring allows consumers to use their credit history and share their credit information in a secure way with any blockchain-based lending protocol, while also helping lenders improve their decision-making and risk management. Knee-jerk reaction. What are your thoughts?
Oh, man. Okay. So we've heard plenty of testimony lately in Congress regarding the integration of crypto into traditional financing, into the banking sector. I feel like I'm about to have one of those moments where I don't know if I want the traditional credit style, the credit score. I don't want that in crypto.
Point of
I don't want that in crypto. Like, stay away. Like, let me collateralize my loan. Let me do my thing on chain, off chain, and I don't want a credit score. Like, might also be because I don't have good credit, but
like the whole purpose of DeFi is supposed to be peer to peer. That is the whole that's the whole purpose. And I'm sorry, but like it's not like when you go take out a personal loan, they run your credit, you get cash, you use it to buy things. If I'm going to take out a loan or I'm taking out a loan on crypto, what am I going to do with it?
Let me ask you a question.
What?
If Bitcoin was down to 16K and you were approved for a $16,000 loan, would you pick up a
like
Bitcoin?
A personal loan traditionally?
Yeah. But through an exchange. So you could take the loan through the exchange using your credit, get a Bitcoin off of credit using your credit score. Would you do that? I'm just curious.
Okay, so we got a DeFi. You're talking about we got a
I'm
DeFi.
just saying,
We got
let's
DeFi.
just say,
We got a DeFi.
Kraken, it's just hypothetically speaking, Kraken
Okay.
is offering a traditional style loan. You can just buy a Bitcoin using your credit. Bitcoin dropped down to 16K again.
And then I pay that back in the
In
dollar
US
value.
dollars, yeah. Oh, see, now you're not hating so much, huh?
Oh.
Look at that. All of a sudden, the
But
tables have
that's not what
turned.
this
You
is.
got a bargain on.
But you're talking about a centralized exchange. We're talking about DeFi here. We're talking about DeFi. It's supposed to be peer to peer, right? The whole point
okay.
is,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what you're
but that is an intriguing question.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think I would.
Yeah, the thing is even in DeFi and CeFi, I would rather transact and participate in crypto without any credit. Joking aside, I do have decent credit. I could get a loan on my own if I wanted to. However, I resist the urge to borrow. I'm not pulling the Michael Saylor here, who is like, "Hey, leverage everything you have, sell your house, buy Bitcoin." I'm not in that camp.
To his house?
I feel like, you know, certain people, CEOs of publicly traded companies, they can take on more leverage and risk because you know they're not going to go live on the streets. But I think if for the everyday person, you should separate your finances, your credit score from crypto, because we know we all make mistakes. The last thing you want to do is spend 6 years jacking up your credit score because you took out a DeFi loan and then you went all in on that Pepe coin. And,
Oof.
you know,
You leave Pepe out of this.
I'm just saying, you know, if some of these DJs out here,
100%.
if some of these DJs out here could pull out 20 grand
Sir, you're
on
supposed
a,
to hold
on
your
a loan,
Bitcoin.
they would probably FOMO into things that they probably shouldn't be FOMO into.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh, man. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like as like we say we want the traditional companies and people to come into our space, but don't try to change it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason. Yeah. What's the point of, hey, I want to move to Portugal because I like the government or they have free rent. And then I moved to Portugal and I'm like, no, I don't want to pay free or whatever the case may be. The idea is if you're moving, if you're moving to Portugal for one reason, don't go there and try to change it to whatever place you move from. Might not be the best analogy. But
I want to give a shout out. 3 a.m. Jay says, "Who the hell are you guys?" Boom. We're Sin City Crypto.
I don't know.
That's right.
3 a.m. Jay. What's up, Jay? We still love you, my friend. All right. Let's talk about, speaking of DeFi, let's move on to DeFi versus CeFi. New data reveals major market share changes after FTX. And we're still talking about this more than 5 months after the exchange collapse. New data from Brave New Coin and others highlights winners and losers as a loss of trust after FTX triggers a significant shift in trading habits across the crypto sector. Trust in centralized system has been severely shaken, and volumes on exchanges that operate similarly to FTX have since fallen. Spot volumes are down across all major exchanges like Binance and Coinbase. It is likely that some traders and investors have been burned so badly they are sitting on the sidelines. Robin, do you think we're on the mend? Do you think are we building trust back up in a CeFi and centralized exchanges? Or do you think FTX just harmed people so bad that it's just forever going to change the way centralized exchanges are?
People were less willing to take risk when things were collapsing and we had a domino effect of cascading failures, right? We saw FTX was essentially the last, right? But before that, we didn't know if they were going to be the last.
Right.
Before that, you had, who do we have before? We had Celsius, we had Terra Luna,
Voyager.
3 Years Capital. We didn't know if FTX was the last. And so if you're participating in any on-chain...
Hold on, I can even argue we didn't think FTX was going to be the last. Right? I mean, we looked at something like Gemini.
And you should have
Crypto.com.
And you should have had an open mind as to, hey, this could continue, it could get worse. Because if you tried to anticipate and say, this is the last collapse, and it could still, the contagion could still be spreading. So for the simple fact that Bitcoin has bounced back or rallied from the 16K where we were at to where we're at now, we aren't free and clear. We assume we are. We assume that the exchanges that have made it this far will tread water until the next bull market. And we don't know for sure. There's a lot of uncertain regulation out there, but I'm pretty optimistic. I think that the worst is behind us. But with that said, at the time FTX went under, a lot of people were hesitant to get into the markets. And I just think that the sentiment has changed. People, after time heals wounds. People are a little bit more eager, and they're piling back into crypto. I'm going to see it.
Do you think there is a need for centralized exchanges?
Of course, 100%. If you have cash, you can't plug it into the internet without a centralized entity, right? You need it.
Well, there are rails being built. We've seen news from MetaMask.
You can't push a dollar bill into the internet. And so if you get paid in fiat, now, if you get paid in crypto, that's a little different. But if you have a bank account, if you get a paycheck, if you have dollar bills, if you have fiat in whatever form it is, and you want to plug it into the crypto universe, you have to have an intermediary. They have to take the dollars, and then they have to issue you a crypto or whatever currency you're using.
We've seen news with MetaMask and MoonPay, and you can on and off ramp fiat directly through a decentralized wallet.
Yeah, but that decentralized wallet is leveraging a bank or an intermediary that's facilitating it, and that's a centralized point.
But my question is, if centralized exchanges aren't the only place you're going to on and off ramp fiat, do we need centralized exchanges? Are they going to serve a purpose?
You're saying instead of having centralized exchanges, banks facilitate on and off
directly through decentralized
there's always going to be an
wallets?
exchange. Here's the thing. The U.S. might not like exchanges, but that's the only one. or there might be a couple other. But realistically, there's going to be several countries. There's always going to be a host of countries that you can use it. And if the U.S. wants to play around and try to hamstring this whole industry by shutting down exchanges, abroad is going to work. You got access to the internet, it's going to work. And you know what? People are going to DJ and use VPNs anyways.
Unless
And even then, people are
20 years?
still going to do it, man.
you think someone's going to risk spending 20 years
People
in jail?
in China, China still has massive
know.
hash rate, and it's illegal there. People are going to, if people are passionate enough, they're going to use the services. And I don't, even if it is illegal, if crypto is banned here in the States, I'm going to still participate. I'm going to take the risk.
Wow, way to...
Just
well,
saying.
we know there's a target on you. All right. Before we bring Wendy on, let's go over what is she ready? In the wings. All right. So let's talk about this then. 1 in 10 French people own crypto. A new study finds is adoption increasing. 10%. Now this is big. 10% of French people own crypto assets, and crypto awareness is also on the rise. A new study has found. The parties carried out a similar study last year and discovered that just over 3/4 of respondents said they knew what crypto assets were. But in this year's study, 85% of people stated that they knew about crypto. They also found that there had been an increase of 18% in the number of crypto holders compared to 2022. Is this more because there's more clarity around regulation? Or is this more because people are not happy with their government in Europe and France?
There is more clarity in the European Union. And I think for that reason, we're starting to see more adoption in countries that are friendlier to regulation, at least make it more transparent. And I was reading an article about the EU about to pass the new bill, right?
Well, it's been in the works for a while, but it got a vast majority approved. I think there's one more step it needs to go through, but then it becomes law. But what they're doing now is, now that it's gotten approved, they're trying to push that globally, right? Economies and countries, you know what's funny is they argue over the dumbest things, but it seems like when it comes to crypto, they're all trying to band together to have the same guidelines, because they know if there's a few big economies that don't go by the guidelines that the US or Europe or China do, then people will just circumvent or move there or whatever the case may be. And that scares them more. So, funny question. Can crypto bring the global countries together no matter what's going on? Who knows?
Yeah.
So you think it's a little bit of both then?
Yes. I do want to know if you want to bring people together, we could bring together the BitBoy community and Sin Center community by giving away some Sin City crypto merch. And so if you haven't come by and checked out our channel or our Twitter, we do have a giveaway in the description of the video here. And we have about 79 entries. We're giving out $300 worth of gift cards. We'll be giving those away tomorrow. And then
there's going to be 12 winners, $300 total.
Winners. Yeah.
So 12 people will get $25 gift cards.
There you go. So yeah, go check us out. And then you can pick out something from our merch store. So
now, Robin, I want to move on to one more piece.
What you got?
Bitcoin whale carrying $178 million in Bitcoin wakes up, but apparently it's not all bad news. A Bitcoin whale that has $178 million in Bitcoin wakes up, but it's not all bad news. This wallet has been inactive for almost a decade, 10 years, with Bitcoin, which was acquired at very cheap prices. And now this whale has re-entered the market with a massive stash of Bitcoin to boot. At the time that the wallet was last transacted, which was on December 19th, 2013, which I might add is only 11 days after my birthday, it held a total of 6,071.5 Bitcoin. Now, back in 2013, one Bitcoin was going for $663, data shows, which is when this whale had acquired their coins. It finally made its first transaction in almost a decade on April 20th. So 420, can this be Elon Musk? Can it be Elon Musk?
Elon? That's what you're going
Who
with?
else would activate a 10-year dormant wallet on 420?
Stop. All right, that is kind of coincidental. But
That is what it is.
I don't think Elon has one of the dormant wallets.
But I want to add,
he does have crypto though.
He does.
He does have crypto.
Personally, we don't
SpaceX
know.
has a
You know
bunch
who
of
said
Bitcoin?
they personally have crypto? Joe Rogan.
Mm.
Well, here, I want to just finish up with this. A transaction was not made to a centralized exchange. Rather, it was sent to another unknown wallet where the Bitcoin now sits. So doesn't look like he's looking to
Kind
sell
of.
it.
All right. Well, let's bring on Miss Wendy. Oh, I think she's ready. I'm gonna go over some charts. Hey, how you doing, Wendy?
Hi, good morning. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we've been trying to get you on our show, and so we just decided to go straight to the source, right to Ben, and then like that we can get you on the show.
Okay, so this is the thing is you guys know I'm a mom, I'm an absolute hot mess, and things happen, but I always can't make it sometimes. But you guys are always welcome to come on my show.
Well, we always love the opportunity. We'll be on there for sure. How
Okay,
you
good.
doing, by the way?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy to be here. Are you guys going to Consensus?
I will be there. Yeah, David's taking the. He's gonna hold the show down while I'm over there. You're gonna be there.
Yes, we'll meet up. We'll hopefully try to do some content and wear that shirt. It's a very nice shirt. It looks great on you.
Yeah, it's
Lies.
it transforms in the black light. So
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Does
yeah,
it?
It's,
Oh, okay.
it's got a
So,
hidden seed phrase in there.
Oh, does it? Don't tell people that. You don't want to be like those people that wear the ledgers around their neck. You want to know what's so funny about that is like when you ordered a ledger way back in the day, they gave you like a lanyard to wear your ledger. And now people are like pissed off about it. But like anybody who does that anyways, is stupid. So don't do that, you guys. Don't let people know that you have crypto. Like keep it on the down low, okay? Keep it on.
Well, people love to flex, so it is what it is. But yeah, we just covered that too.
Yeah, I'm more than fine driving in my mom minivan and just like blending in, people not having any idea who I am, except when you guys see me reprimanding my kid at Target. That will probably happen because she's very busy. But we have to talk about like charts and like stuff like that and like
Yeah.
PA and like number goes up and like number goes down.
That's it. Now, some people are freaking out. The newbies in the space are selling off their crypto, and they think it's a crash. It's why don't we give the people a little peace of mind and let them know what you see in the chart and see if you have a bullish narrative, perhaps.
So first and foremost, we're taking a look at crypto bubbles. I absolutely love this. I believe it's free, so you guys check it out. But this basically it's a cute way to see what's happening with altcoins and get like a big picture of like the top trending stuff. As you can see, the market is in red. Yikes! Oh my god! But to me, it's a big nothing burger. And the reason why it's a big nothing burger, can you guys see the chart correctly over here, the Bitcoin chart?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, perfect. So the reason why I think it's a big nothing burger is, okay, so this is this chart. Let me go to this one here. Sorry, I've got ADHD, guys, so sometimes I go all over the place. My viewers know this, but we talked about this range here, approximately 29.3 and 31.8. I was hoping, and I actually, I'm glad that I closed my long weeks ago when I headed down to when I was in Atlanta with BitBoy and the BitSquad hanging out. Because I totally thought we were going to hit 31.9, but I don't like to trade when I'm traveling. So I'm glad that I closed it because I was only down a couple bucks. But I talked about this on the show. I says, if we lose support at approximately 29.3, then things are going to get ugly. And we're going to start, hitting some of these areas of support down in this range over here. Okay. Now, one of the things that I'm noticing on this chart over here, this is the new one I did. We're just hitting this range over here. We're hitting this bit of what used to be support, but it's it still is support right now because we're holding on to it, but it looks like there could be potentially more downside. When you take a look at MACD and market cipher, it is indicating a little bit of bearishness. RSI, MFI is heading, or RSI, MFI, yes, is heading downward as well. MACD already bear cross and confirmed. On the 12-hour chart, it was giving me bearish vibes earlier in the week, but as you can see, you guys, we have this area of support here at about 27.6, which I think that we will potentially test if we continue to lose support at 28.4. But ultimately, we've got a lot of support here at 26.5. And on the 4-hour chart is also looking like we could have been a bit exhausted, and we're starting to like fight at this range or fight at this area of support now, but we're trying to flip it. So I'm gonna watch for that. But realistically, I don't think anybody should be scared. I don't think we should be too terribly worried, because if we zoom all the way out, we created a local bottom here at approximately 15.6, another local bottom here at approximately 21.3. Some people are saying that we're going to head back down to $20,000. If we do, that's fine. I'm not concerned about it. That to me would be a great buying opportunity potentially. Again, not financial advice for anybody that feels like they missed Bitcoin. And this is why it's one of those tactics I do is I love to set limit orders because I like to dictate where I'm going to buy particular cryptocurrencies. Another thing I will say is I do want to take a look at the total crypto cap, including Bitcoin. Oh, wait, can you guys see the total crypto market cap? I'm sorry. I just want to make sure.
We see the chart. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure because yeah, but anyways, it looks like we hit that high of approximately $1.25 trillion, and we're currently correcting and testing 1.15 trillion over here, which is fine to me. So just a little bit of money is leaving the market, people are taking profit, etc. But one of the things that we do need to realize is that we had very, very, very bullish news when it did come to Ethereum. People were actually able to remove the they were able to remove the Ethereum stake that they had for the rewards. And obviously that's going to, it's going to take a while for everybody to be able to remove it if you were using a centralized exchange, because different centralized exchanges have different rules as to when you could do that. But I think that the market's okay. We still could have some more downside, possibly to like $20,000. But I think it's a big nothing burger. If you're somebody who's actively trading, then you want to pay closer attention to the markets. But if you're somebody who's just like kind of buying or dollar cost averaging, that's fine. The only thing I will say, if you're somebody who is dollar cost averaging in altcoins, please make sure you have a trading and investing plan. And also please make sure you know when you want to go ahead and cut your position, because some of these altcoins are going to get really great rallies when the market is looking good or when Bitcoin is running upwards. But then they're going to have a lot more downside when Bitcoin does do her little bit of a correction. So maybe it might be a good idea to consider selling part of your position, consulting with the CPA, and seeing how you can take advantage of that tax-wise. But just kind of relax, you guys. And also, too, we had some, I think you guys talked about it, we had some positive news come out with the EU in regards to regulation, because everybody's screaming for regulation. And to me, that's bullish long-term in the space. So maybe this downward price action could have been according to the news. I personally don't think it was. We were looking a little bit weak anyways, but I'm not really too terribly concerned with the market. Once we get back above $30,000, I'll be super, super bullish. But we also have meme coin season happening too. And that just means get in and get out and buy more Bitcoin.
Yeah, we almost traded at a full month. It was about 3 weeks where we were in between the 25 and 30K range. So I feel like it's a pretty natural pullback. I wouldn't freak out at all. If we did see maybe if we lost a $25,000 support, I'd be a little bit more concerned. You did bring up the Ethereum and the unlock. No, Ethereum went into the unlock at, it quickly crossed over the $2,000 mark. I think it got all the way up to $2,200 or just shy of that. And with Bitcoin, it was over 30,000. Do you think, because going into the unlock, Ethereum was around 1,600, and then after Bitcoin crossed 30K, that's when we had the big rally in Ethereum. Do you think that Ethereum will cross over 2,000 and stay well above it if Bitcoin continues its movement over 30,000?
Of course,
what's
definitely.
your sentiment?
Yeah, I definitely think that it would. And also, too, I feel like Ethereum has been a lot stronger than Bitcoin. That's just that's just what I'm feeling. Like the chart just looks a little bit different, and it looks a little bit stronger to me. And again, we did have a little bit of a nasty drawdown because we created a local top over here at approximately 21.42. People were probably taking profit. I feel, and also too, I read and I covered yesterday on my show that a lot of people were actually depositing more Ethereum into different staking mechanisms, like on centralized exchanges, etc. Maybe setting up their own nodes, then they were actually withdrawing. So that's all positive and bullish too for Ethereum. But generally, Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of follow suit in most cases. So it does make sense that we're having a little bit of correction. Ethereum does look a little bit more bullish than Bitcoin, as you can see on the daily chart, because we're just kind of chilling at like 1942. We did have a really nasty candle from about 21,000 to approximately 1936, but she's just kind of going sideways. However, if you do take a look at the indicators down over here, Market Cipher and MACD, it is indicating a little bit of a bigger correction, which again is totally fine. You don't want things that go straight up. If you're trading something or you are investing something, that number just goes up, 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 you're probably going to end up getting wrecked, and that price action isn't going to be sustainable. So again, I don't think we're in like a full-on bull market yet. We're starting to see little signs here and there, but it's just a really fun time for people to actively get in and get out, have fun, play the market, and just practice some risk management.
Right. Yeah. I want to bring up I saw your Twitter account here kind of popping off, and you had a tweet about Coinbase that got a lot of eyeballs, and we were gonna talk about that. And so we have Coinbase moving, was it offshore? And do you want to elaborate on that? Because I feel like you had a pretty good take, or a pretty spicy take on that. Do you want to give us a little alpha on perhaps what could happen if Coinbase were to leave the U.S. and or what's kind of going on?
Yeah, so basically what we do is for marketing purposes, it's super fun to take short clips and then put them on the internet because people absolutely lose their minds because they refuse to go to the original video and watch the entire context. It's marketing 101. Like people do it all the time. Even when people troll me, they'll pull clips of me talking and they won't include the whole thing. So great, fine. But I feel like in that clip I explained it. So let's talk about this. 2010, 2011, my stepson said, Wendy, can I borrow your credit card to buy Bitcoin? This is 2010, 2011. And I was like, no, I don't know how this works. I felt really uncomfortable. I didn't understand what intangible cash was. I didn't know what digital cash was. I didn't know what a digital wallet was. I was like, this is weird. I'm not going to do it. Buying Bitcoin way back in 2010, 2011, I guaranteed most of the BitSquad, and this isn't a slam, guys. Most of you guys weren't in crypto then, and that's okay. I wasn't either. I heard about it, but I was like, I'm not intelligent enough to do this. I didn't think I was. Fast forward, as time progressed, we've had all of these amazing on-ramps and off-ramps for cryptocurrency, and it makes it easy to buy Bitcoin. Okay. Back in 2017, when I entered the market, what you did is you went on Coinbase or Gemini, you bought Bitcoin, you moved it to like a Bittrex or a KuCoin or whatever was available then, and then you were trading in altcoin Bitcoin pairs. That's what you did. Okay. Without a on-ramp like Coinbase. Coinbase is like one of the most well-known brands. Like everybody knows what Coinbase is. And I guarantee I think that you guys should do a poll to see what was the first exchange you used to buy cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin. Most people will probably say Coinbase. So
We'll put that poll up.
Coinbase leaves the United States of America, because of the lack of regulatory clarity, other exchanges will follow suit. Binance US, crypto.com, whatever's left. And I got a lot of people saying, well, we'll use Fidelity. I don't know if Fidelity is going to actually allow you to remove your Bitcoin from their exchange and transfer it to a cold storage device. And that's the true purpose of Bitcoin. That's what you do. So if we don't get regulatory clarity in the United States of America, Coinbase CEO says, we're going to go. And I don't blame him. You cannot run a business in an environment with regulatory uncertainty. It's not fair because you're going to get fined, you're going to get in trouble, and you're basically going to get in trouble for things you had no idea that you were doing wrong because they're literally refusing to tell you what to do. I don't know about you guys, but the way I parent my kid, I don't punish my daughter for doing something that I didn't tell her was a bad thing or not to do it. It wouldn't make any sense. Like it would make me a bad parent, okay? So if Coinbase leaves overseas, where are people going to go to buy crypto? Where are they going to go to buy Bitcoin? People will say decentralized exchanges. Okay, great. But you still have to use a credit card or a debit card or a fiat on and off ramp to buy crypto. And a lot of people don't understand the early days of Bitcoin, you were doing sketchy things online. And sometimes people would do OTC sales in person. Like you would literally go meet somebody at a coffee shop and buy Bitcoin that way. Like I have friends that did that. So we saw that happen, and that's why I say crypto will be dead in the United States of America. Who is going to buy Bitcoin then? There's some people that are tech savvy, well versed enough to do so. I might not be one of those people. It might be too complex for me. And I know a lot of people, especially in the neighborhoods that I grew up and that I've run around in and I still frequent, a lot of these people are not tech savvy. They don't have a STEM background. They don't have a mathematics background, and they don't understand how a lot of this works. And again, even though we've evolved so far, crypto and Bitcoin is still hard to access. And my mom wouldn't be able to do it without my help. And on top of that, we had Brian Armstrong talk about opening a Coinbase derivative exchange. I want to say it was in Bermuda. Please correct me if I'm wrong about that. I haven't reviewed the notes today. But we're already seeing them continue to go offshore. And again, we saw Bittrex leave the US. And there's a couple other exchanges that left too, I believe. I'm not sure. But moral of the story is, excuse me, a lot of talking. How will people access Bitcoin if all the crypto centralized exchanges leave the United States of America?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I'm VPN immediately comes up to mind, but as you said, I mean, the general public.
I don't mean to interrupt, but how many Americans are actually using VPNs? How many Americans want to risk them? And also too, with the TikTok ban that they're introducing, the Restrict Act, that is being introduced. It's not about TikTok. It is about technology as a whole. And they can, like, if you're participating in a game that they don't like, if you use a ring light they don't like, just all these ridiculous things, they can literally come after you. Why would people even want to take that risk and deal with it? Would make no sense to them.
Yeah, we ran that poll, and over 50% of the votes were for Coinbase. So you can see just the community that here, who is pretty plugged into the system, they're all
Exactly.
they're majority.
You guys are well versed, you're educated, you're intelligent, you're hardworking, you've got that entrepreneurial mindset. You want to have complete ownership and liberty of your assets, of your money. So you guys are more well versed than majority of Americans. And I would even put my reputation that 70% of Americans are not tech savvy and don't have a STEM background, because it's not taught in our public school system. I wasn't taught that when I was in public school. The only reason why my daughter is because I have her in private school.
Right. You know, yesterday we pulled up a Coinbase has a new link on their website that shows you all the representatives that are pro and against crypto, state by state. And so what we're seeing here is we have a fight, and we have the regulators are deciding the future of crypto. And so I encourage our viewers, Wendy's viewers, to go on to Coinbase if you're not familiar with the stance of your representatives in your area, and send some letters out. I mean, they do represent you. You are an extension.
Call them, go to their offices, go to the low-level public servants in your district, go to the town hall centers, go to the meetings, say, this is what we want to do. Like, people forget that people forget that we need to kind of get off our behinds and do something. Like, that's the moral of the story. Americans have become lazy, and that's because the way that the system has perpetuated everything. And realistically, there's most of the problems we have in America is a wealth gap. It's not a lot of the social issues that they're portraying. And that's fine. Like, we do have social issues. I get it. But at the same time, a lot of it is a wealth gap. And we do need to make our voices heard. The United States is acting absolutely embarrassing these days. And it's just very disheartening to see. But again, I'm telling you, I wouldn't have gotten into crypto if I couldn't have used Coinbase. At end of 2017, I created a Coinbase account. I KYC'd. I bought my first portion of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin in like 30 minutes. And that was super easy. But as far as custodying coins, that's a little bit different. But again, most Americans aren't tech savvy enough, and that's not a slam at them. It's just a slam at our society. So we do have to do better.
Yeah, well, it looks like everything's going overseas. We're actually going to go check over the seas with Ben here in a little bit. So we're going to let you go. It was an absolute pleasure having you on. Is there anything new in your ecosystem you want to talk about, or anything you're excited to share with the stream? No? Okay.
No, just subscribe to my channel, do all the things, and please make sure to write to your public servants and tell them they need to do a better job. And remember, you guys, your taxpayer dollars, which again, taxes are a scam, but you still do have to pay them. You don't want to get gaffled up. Your taxpayer dollars fund these people's salaries. Like, you get to dictate what they do and what they represent. And please remember that. Don't ever forget that. And we do need to make our voices heard. And I want crypto to be here to stay. I want people to be able to improve their quality of life. And I want more and more Americans and people across the world to be able to have access to the same financial products that the rich people have, because the accredited investor law is a bunch of BS. And I think it's predatory, and it's not okay. That's all.
Privilege of the few. There you go. Now, we will catch you on the next time. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Now, before we move on, I do want to take an intermission to give a shout out to our sponsor, Steak. And any insight here on the steak? You got any steak jokes? No? You love steak? Okay.
All right. Let's roll it.
You know, I can't wait to get some of this barbecue down here in the South while we're visiting.
Ugh.
You know,
Man,
we might rebrand to Dirty Bird Crypto. Forget that Cincinnati
I
Crypto.
wish someone would buy us some barbecue. Oh, wow. Asking you shall receive. Now, we're going to get into our crypto Twitter minute. And before we check in on our friend Ben, we have to check in on our other friend, the Commander-in-Chief. I heard we have a video.
Oh, man. So we got Joe Biden, your favorite politician out here. And let's take a quick look at this video I got here. So, all right, let's see. All right, without further ado, let's get into it.
I'm going to go over and sign that executive order. Thank you.
He knows exactly where he is.
It's like, All right, I'm gonna go sign the executive order here. All right.
What was I doing?
I'm going to go over and sign that executive order. Thank you.
Very
You know,
sharp.
how is this dude the president? How is this man the president? You know what I'm saying? Dude doesn't know where he is at all times. He has to have people literally tell him, now take one step forward with your left foot. Now another step with your right foot. Now watch out, sir. There's a...
It's kind of concerning when you narrate your actions. I'll just leave it at that. So, all right. So wanted to check in with Mr. Ben Armstrong. So he is.
We got him live? Is he patching it?
No, not live.
Oh,
but he has Wi-Fi issues on the boat. And so, anyways, we wanted to share a little check in. Our Twitter minute is from Ben Armstrong's account. So so we have here. I'm supposed to be in court today. I am not. Why? Because I don't give a. We'll let you figure out what the F means. And then he follows it up with another tweet where, guys, I missed court, but I still ran into Adam Moskowitz.
Is that a
and we
pig?
made up. Oh,
Is that a pig?
that is a
Steak, yeah.
just
That's their Twitter handle on there. Yeah, sponsored by Steak. But
sponsored by Steak.
Is that
and
a
then-
pig?
That is.
What are pigs doing on the beach?
I don't know. I'm kind of curious. What kind of cruise is he on? Why is there pigs out there?
Why is that pig so happy? I don't know. So he's implying that that lawyer is.
Yeah, that's.
You know, I want to share. I also want to share a Twitter thread from Ben. This is a little more on a serious note, and I have this pulled up here. And this is from he tweeted this. This was today at 8 a.m. Here is why you all need to be the enemy of Adam Moskowitz, the crooked ambulance chasing billion-dollar attorney. Now, I'm just reading a tweet. So someone's lawyers watching. These are not my views. Okay, don't drag me into a lawsuit. I don't got the money to defend myself. You must read this if you've ever posted a tweet on crypto Twitter, posted a video on YouTube about crypto, or ever used social media. It talks about how Adam is suing 9 influencers for promoting FTX, even though it will be proven none of them had any idea that Sam was running a criminal organization. But 8 of them were paid. 1 of them was not. And of course, the one of them that was not was Ben. The weak argument he makes is that I spoke favorably about FTX and Sam, even though the majority of content I've made is anti-Sam and eventually anti-FTX, even warning people to get away from the app months before it fell. Ben was beating the drum on this, like he said, months before. And this is before anyone had any inkling of what FTX was doing. I have never spoken to an active FTX employee, but here is where it gets extremely dangerous for all of crypto social media. He says, because I invested in FTT and said I believed it was a good coin in 2021 due to the success of FTX in 2020, 2021, that I'm liable for promotion. Do you understand what this means if you have ever tweeted or posted about a coin, including Bitcoin? Even though you were not paid, you can be held legally liable. Ever posted a chart? You're liable. Tweeted a coin? Liable. An opinion? Posted a meme? It is extremely dangerous for this entire space. He said, but it will not be last. Luckily for all of us, I'm going to wipe the floor with said attorney. Hate me now, thank me later. Now, of course, we are in the same space that Ben is in. We talk about some of our favorite projects. I talk about Polygon. Robin talks about SHIB all the time as his favorite project. But all jokes aside, though, like, is this fair that you say, hey, I'm bullish on this token because, like, I'm bullish on Terra Luna. They have a big ecosystem. They have an algorithmic coin. And then dogecoin does something shady. And then now we get sued. What are your thoughts on that whole scenario?
Well, I guess you can't stop civil lawsuits, right? And so if you have the means and legal know-how, you can sue anybody you want realistically. Now you're liable or open to countersuits if it's frivolous or defamation. But outside of maybe that little critique, if somebody wants to sue you, they can, and they feel like you are responsible for their own negligence. It's not going to stop somebody from filing a civil lawsuit, man. And I think that's just the world we live in. It terrifies me, man. It's something needs to be adjusted. I think my personal experience, or my personal sentiment is that I would hope to see that as we move forward, we get away from what this crypto has this negative connotation. I would like to see us move more into how it is right now with stocks and some of the platforms. I don't know if content creators are getting sued or held liable for American-based publicly traded companies, as an example. If they have failures, I just haven't seen those headlines before. So I'd like to see us get into that space. But at the end of the day, I think it's just people trying to make a quick buck, and they're looking to hold somebody accountable, even though they might not have any accountability for it, right?
Yeah. What upsets me, and this is just how I personally was raised. You take accountability for your own actions. You decide to make a decision, and there's consequences, whether they're good or bad. And so to sit here and blame someone, say, well, he said the FTT token was good, so I put my life savings into it, and I'm going to sue you.
I mean,
I'm sorry, man.
You should be pissed. You should want to sue people. I understand that. But
You're saying you should want to sue people?
No, sue the right people. Sue the people.
So if I sit here and say, I love Polygon, it is one of my favorite projects, and you dump $1 million, your life savings in, and Polygon goes under, I get to be sued?
The content creator should not be sued. I'm just saying that you should try to have some kind of recourse. You should try to get some of your funds back, and you should go through the civil direction. But hold the people that are operating the system. Those are the people that should be responsible. Not the marketing, not the people that are marketing, right?
Especially if they're not getting paid for it, and if they're sharing their personal.
If there's a recall on a car, you don't sue NBC because they had the commercial for that vehicle.
That's a great analogy.
It's pretty simple.
That's a really
you want to
good
sue somebody, sue the car maker.
Yeah.
You lost money on FTX. Go find some people that can be held accountable that were operating that exchange. There's a lot of them. And they're U.S. based.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. And with that analogy, that was so great, we're going to move on to another area, which is great, which is technology.
Takeoff, man. Technology sector is booming.
It's taking off, you can say.
We're going out to space.
It's exploding, you can say. The tech sector is exploding.
So we would say, well, one, you have Elon Musk obviously has a direct correlation to the price of Bitcoin. And with that said, we had the SpaceX rocket launch this morning. And so
look at all that smoke.
That's
dude.
crazy. Huh? So it's supposed to be the biggest rocket in the history of mankind. I think over 10 million pounds of oxygen in there. Anyways, this thing took off, and the mission success was to get off the launch pad. But unfortunately, we have an ad.
Ooh.
Damn, Ben, if you're watching, just upgrade. Do you want us to pick up the tab on the YouTube Premium? We will.
So a couple minutes into the launch, the rocket blew up.
Ooh.
Now, Elon Musk was on Twitter saying it was still a success.
Well, he did come out and say, as long as they don't destroy the launch pad, then it was a success.
So now, interesting enough, at the same time that the rocket blew up, I have the Doge chart pulled up.
Oh,
so
great.
This wasn't just a tech story as far as the rocket, but if you see the correlation, this is the 5-minute chart on Binance. And so the Doge price was rocketing up with the rocket. It got up to 93 cents.
9.3 cents.
9.3 cents.
93 cents. Don't get people excited here.
It's about to go to the moon, baby.
Is this another Robstradamus prediction?
No. So 9.3 cents. The rocket blew up here. We have the red circle to indicate the moment the rocket blew up, followed by 2 red candles. This one we had a 1% loss, a 2% loss.
And guys, these are 5-minute candles.
And then a 3% loss. So over 5% literally in 20 minutes. So an overreaction to this. And then it still kept trading.
Well, here's the thing. One thing to keep in mind. I know some of you are like, well, the entire crypto market was moving down. But Doge was actually up. Doge was one of the only tokens that was up 5% before the launch. And so, it goes back to my earlier this week, I forget what day it was, But how could you feel comfortable investing or trading Dogecoin when literally things that have nothing to do with crypto affect the price like this? 3% in 5 minutes. Phew. That's ridiculous, man.
And this
That's
thing
just
is
my opinion.
still dropping. That's the crazy part, man.
Dropping like it's hot. just like
Right
that.
now at 85 cents. I mean, that's pretty, or 88, excuse me, 8.5 cents.
It's okay. It happens on our channel all the time. Robin tries to
That's
say $1,800 for
You know
ETH. He
what?
says
I
18,000.
like to scratch those zeros, man, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. You speak it into existence, right?
That's right.
Okay. Let's move on
What's up?
to our next segment. Rate this niche. Is it niche or niche? What do you?
Niche.
Niche. What's your, Rob? What are, look, okay. It goes back to some
see,
people.
here's my thing. I don't know. I don't like all these like hidden letters. For me, it's like Nick, he, and that's it, bro. Like,
Some people say hodl. Some people say hodl.
Hmm.
It's hodl, right? Drew?
It is.
Robin, hodl or hodl?
it's hodl.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
When you put the ho on there, it just don't come out.
Ho,
right.
ho, ho. It ain't Christmas yet, guys. So our rate this niche. We're talking about meme coins. We have
Oh.
Pepe coin, which is the first little piece of news we have here. What is Pepe coin? Well, it is a meme coin. It was launched on mid-April of this year. We saw the massive run up. We saw news that someone turned $250 into $1 million, but they weren't able to cash it out. And then we have peak bull rally. Okay. I want to note CNBC argues why SHIB will overtake Doge. I mean, we have bull market tops and signals, and we can argue this was a bear market rally. Does this signal the end of the bear market rally? And I haven't even gotten to what they said. Let's go into what they said.
Yeah, sure.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
These are the experts in crypto. CNBC
The experts, yeah. The hype around SHIB and the metaverse of SHIB has now reached the mainstream media. In a news article, CNBC examined whether SHIB can displace Doge from its throne. CNBC believes SHIB will overtake its biggest competitor, though it could take more than a year. And, well, here are some of the reasons. Utility is undoubtedly the most significant indicator of project potential. In the case of Doge, the media outlet sees the main utility as a payment method with Twitch, Air Baltic, AMC, Tesla, GameStop, among others. That's for Doge. They're saying this is the utility for Doge's payment method. In contrast, they say SHIB's use case is much broader. The project is tapping into DeFi through its DEX Shiba Swap, offering NFT creation and trading, and is currently developing its own layer 2 Shibarium. Shiba, this is a quote from CNBC. Shiba Inu's metaverse, which is likely to debut by the end of this year, and a number of games, including Shiba Eternity, Shiba Run, and Shiba March, all contribute to the project's growth potential. In contrast to Doge, each of these initiatives is offering a unique use case.
So CNBC is promoting the utility of Shiba
Someone's
Run,
got a big bag over there of
Shiba
Shiba
Run, Shiba March. What is happening right now? I
Okay,
feel like I'm in a alternate
Simulation.
universe right now.
Okay, all jokes aside, the niche of meme coins, does it serve a purpose for the greater good of crypto? I always say it's like a gateway drug to the rest of the crypto space. You come in for the memes, you stay for the technology. Or are you saying it's just bad for the space, too much speculation, too many people getting burned? Even if you hunt 1000x, you probably can't get the money out. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that there's always gonna be a host of people that they look at crypto and they're gonna want to get rich quick. They don't want to hodl. They don't want to do any research. They just ask their cousin or family member, like, hey, what should I buy? And these people are going to get burned regardless if it's a meme coin or the next Bitcoin fork or whatever it is. I think people are just irresponsible and are looking for unrealistic returns on their investments. And yes, there are outliers, but you're not going to get an easy 100x without doing any kind of research and just YOLOing into something. And there are examples of that. And so that the examples always rise to the top. You always hear your friend or somebody you know or somebody on Instagram just hit a home run. But that is not the realistic percentage of what's going on when people are just going all in on speculative altcoins that are way, way, way down on the market cap list. With that said, it does bring people into the space. So outside of those degens with unrealistic expectations, a lot of people come in to get exposure. a lot of people are going to get burned regardless. And whether you come in, you get burned by buying a meme coin and it is essentially tanking or going to zero, or you come in and you get your wallet hacked or something happens, most of us are going to come in and have a negative experience with crypto. It's kind of like the name of the game at the moment. You take a couple L's and then you learn from it and you become a pretty savvy crypto investor from that point forward. And so whether or not it's a meme coin or some ICO a friend told you about, I think more people in our space is a net positive.
Do you think one of the writers or someone at CNBC has a big shit bag?
I think so, man.
I think so.
Well, here's an interesting thought. Do you line up with the views of CNBC? Do you think that shit will overtake Doge?
Listen,
I'm just curious.
I, ad nauseum, have defended shit against you and your tyranny against meme coins. So I am the savior of memes.
It is.
All jokes aside,
2x away.
All jokes aside, if you start off as a meme token, are you not allowed to progress to have utility, to actually serve a purpose, which is what SHIB is doing? Doge has decided to stay a meme, which I guess is also fine, right? There's a market for that as well.
It knows its true colors. It's not trying to be something else.
You know what I keep thinking of that bear short clip we did on a channel that was pretty funny. What do you? Let's see what the chat thinks.
Who will be at the top of the coin market cap list moving forward? Who will take the top spot in the meme category? Will it be Doge? Put a 1 for Doge. Put a 2 if it's going to be SHIB. Who is going to be the next king?
1 Doge, 2 SHIB.
In the next bull market.
Who's the king of memes? While you guys are doing that, we're going to do something else. We're going to give you some tool alpha. No, we're not talking about the guy standing up right now. We're talking about actual tools you can use. Someone asked, someone put in the comment of yesterday's video, do these guys actually hate each other?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I think it's 50-50.
Yeah.
50-50. But we run a good show, so that's all that matters.
You know, the chat is pretty split.
Are they?
Yep.
Drew, what's it looking like? What's the tally here? How fast can you count?
2. 2's in the lead.
Two is in the lead.
One's
Okay.
show up.
What's the chat rate, by the way? This is
It's pretty
crazy.
fast.
3,100 people. That's crazy. All right. Well, either way, if you're invested in meme coins, don't feel bad. But here are a couple tools you guys can use. This is something I've been using for quite a while. And I want to give a shout out to Redman. Redman in the chat. He's part of our community as well. He's a mod in this chat. The first one I'm going to show you, he put it in our Discord, token.unlocks, and I've been using it ever since. I've been playing around with it. This is amazing. We talk about, and the website is token.unlocks.app, A-P-P. We talk about token inflation, and we don't know, well, this website literally has everything ranked for you. You can see how much time is left, how much of the daily unlock. You can see what percentage of the tokens are still locked. If we take, for example, if we scroll down, and we take a look at, let's say, Atom, okay? Atom is coming in at $3.5 million worth of tokens being unlocked every day. You click on this little arrow here. It'll take you to this extremely user-friendly, this was probably a bad example. Let's go back. Let's take a look at Aptos, okay? Aptos, 2.13 billion market cap. We go here. You can see here, there's still 84% of their tokens that are still locked. So only
venture capital tokens, right?
Well, that's the beauty of it. You asked that question, Robin. Well, here you can see it. You can see here, community, 51%. Core contributors, 19%. Foundation, 17%. Investor, 13%. And the great thing about it is you can see the vesting schedule here on the right-hand side. Let me make this bigger for you guys. I highly recommend before you invest long-term or trade any tokens, whether it's day trading, swing trading, or scalp trading, you take a look, at least really quick, take a look at the token. Are there anything becoming unlocked? I'm not saying something becomes unlocked, it's going to get dumped right away. But for example, you can see here, okay, like here, if we just get rid of these three, take a look at investors. Okay.
Oh, dang.
We can see that starting November of this year, investors are going to start getting their tokens unlocked. And you can see here, it starts massively accelerating April of next year. You can kind of use this to base how you're going to invest, your investing strategy and other strategies.
So
also,
Aptos is going to unleash between April and
November and April. November this year
November
to April. And then the last one I want to show is airdrops are a pretty hot topic. Airdrops.io. This is their landing page. You can see here the that's not their landing page. This is their landing page. Latest drops, hottest drops, potential drops. You go here to hot airdrops. It gives you whether it's confirmed. It talks about the this little fire thing. This is just people voting on it, right? So obviously, the higher score it has, the more it has. Of course, I'd click on the Luna one. But for example, let's take a look at I don't know, not that one because we have a sponsor that's other. But I don't know. Let's take a look at Super Oracles, right? It gives you a link to the airdrop side. It gives you a step-by-step of how to make sure or position yourself to be able to get any token airdrops, claim an airdrop if it's already live, and token value has all the things on there. So those are just a couple of tools for you guys to use to keep up to date and keep the alpha. Now, our next segment, which is, by the way, if you are in the XRP community, throw an X in the chat. This next XRP segment is brought to you by our sponsor, Stake. And we are talking about, of course, XRP, as XRP CEO reacts to Ripple's billion-dollar XRP business rumors. A Forbes article on Ripple's multi-billion-dollar sales of XRP through a key Malaysian partner, Tranglo, interesting name, was published less than 24 hours ago, but has already made a lot of noise in the community. Robin, quick answer. Who's louder, the ADA community or the XRP community? Who's more
Depends
outspoken?
on whose chat you're in, because I'm pretty sure the XRP community here is a lot
Let's just
stronger.
say on Twitter.
XRP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ripple is giving its partners XRP so they can offer transfers via XRP with a reduced fee. In this way, the crypto company manages to circumvent the indirect sale of XRP. So someone asks, why is Ripple not offering a discount to all of its customers if it's reimbursing Tranglo and other partners for charging lower fees? What are your thoughts on that?
Ripple's giving away free XRP? That's all I heard.
That's all you heard. I'm sure.
That's all I heard.
Well, they're saying, look, you're giving a discount for businesses. Why not give a discount to us?
Makes sense.
I mean, you think they have a valid argument there, the XRP community?
I don't know. I'm always in the camp that you spread the love to the community first. That's who needs it the most. And I feel like always the venture capital gets the discounts. The big companies get the rebates. They get the early access. And feel like I want to live in a utopian society where, hey, the regular guy like me and you can get a hold of some early sale tokens. Also, some discounts, right? Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm in favor of the little guy. So, and
Guys,
I heard free. So
before we wrap this up, speaking of free, thank you for that segue. If you want some free merch, $25 gift card to 12 people. We'll be handing those out tomorrow. Click the link in the description of this video. Subscribe to Sin City Crypto's YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. You'll be thrown in there. This is some of the merch. But the cool thing about it is it's not just Sin City merch. If you want just general crypto merch, you can get it on this website as well, In and Out Crypto. And so we're giving away free money, $300 worth, 12 gift cards, $25, 12 winners, and pretty simple. So do that.
You got one more day of the Sin City crew here on the takeover.
I'm sad, man.
And
Had a good time. So
yeah, it's been a great time.
Been good.
it's been good.
Yeah, been
We
awesome.
love it. But you know what else looks good is that barbecue right there. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. On behalf of myself, Robin, and the entire BitBoy crew, we will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye.